So I'm chatting with Alex Schroder from Vetprep, the RTO compliance specialist, and we're talking about how the lack of preparation and planning can affect the sale price, the terms, and also the time it takes. Alex.
Travis, thank you so much. Look, so often we come across vendors who don't actually realize that part of the due diligence process that a potential purchaser goes through is compliance due diligence as well. And what purchasers are doing is, as part of their due diligence, they're not only looking at financial due diligence and legal due diligence, but they're also looking at what the RTO's compliance operations look like. Simply because when a person purchases an RTO, they are purchasing the history of the RTO, i.e. the history that the RTO has with the regulators, be it the federal regulator or be it state funding bodies. They are purchasing that history as well. So, and what I mean by purchasing the history is, let's say for argument's sake that somebody goes and purchases an RTO that was in the tribunal needing to fight the continuation of their RTO's registration. Let's say they were in the tribunal 2 years ago. Just because a RTO has new management or a new owner, it does not mean that there's that a line has been drawn in the sand and that they are starting afresh. As with the purchase of any other business, you are literally purchasing the business together with the good, the bad, and the ugly as well. So one of the things that we often see, as I said earlier, is that vendors sometimes don't think about doing a compliance check before they go to the market. And effectively what happens is a savvy purchaser will then go ahead and they will make their agreement subject to a satisfactory forensic compliance outcome. And what that entails is that a forensic auditor like myself would go in and we would go and do an acquisition audit for the vendor, where we literally have a look at the RTO's entire history. And as a forensic auditor, we go back as far as we possibly can. And I often say to clients that when we do a forensic audit, it's almost as if we go in there with a bulldozer or a bobcat, and we dig and we dig and we dig and we dig down as far as we possibly can, to the extent that a unfriendly regulatory auditor would. And we go and find out, like I said, all the good, the bad, the ugly, warts and all. Now, where a vendor has already gone to the market and they haven't had a acquisition audit done or a forensic audit done, when the purchaser then goes and they go and commission a acquisition audit, and suddenly a company like myself come along and we say, we've conducted your acquisition audit, we've done a forensic audit, and what we have found is at this in this stage, there were negative regulatory actions taken against the RTO. Or more importantly, if we go in and we do an acquisition audit and we then find that the RTO's operations from a compliance point of view are a complete mess, we then need to go and report back to whoever our client is. Now, if the vendor has instructed us, we will obviously then go and report back to the vendor. However, if the purchaser or the potential purchaser, if they have commissioned the acquisition audit, we will then go back to our client, the potential purchaser, and we will say to them, hey, this RTO has these and these and these problems. And in order for it to be compliant, you are going to need to undertake these and these and these actions, and you're looking at spending this amount of money. Now, as with any other transaction, the purchaser, the potential purchaser, will then go back to the vendor and they will either go, hang on a second, this is just too much of a risk, I think we're going to give this one a miss. Or they'll go back to the vendor and they'll say, hang on, these and these and these actions need to be taken. Either you take care of it or we'll take care of it. Either way, it means that the vendor is going to end up with a less of a selling price than that they had in mind. And the best way, Travis, for vendors to overcome that is before your RTO goes on the market, when you have decided that it is time to go and sell your RTO, the very, very first thing that you need to do, or that you should do, is you should then go and engage an auditor, and preferably a forensic auditor, to go and conduct a forensic audit on your RTO, so that you as the vendor know exactly what is going to be found as part of the compliance diligence process.
Yeah, it's a really, really good point, Alex, because a lot of vendors, and we work with vendors very closely to make sure they're sale ready by the time we list them, because there's three things. It's all about getting the highest price in the least amount of time with the best terms. And by not doing the proper planning and preparation from a compliance side, it drastically affects those 3 points. And at the end of the day, as a vendor, taking that little bit of time beforehand and doing some preparation and planning and checking where the business is at from a compliance perspective, it saves money, it makes them money, saves them a lot of time, and means that we have better terms in the sale. Alex, we'll wrap it up there. Absolutely fantastic. Some very salient points. And, again, Alex Schroder from Vetprep, the RTO compliance experts, especially when you want that forensic advice. Thanks a lot, Alex.
Thank you, Travis.